What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Moto Outsider. And in today's episode, we are recapping everything San Diego. We are recapping all of the money that the Lawrence brothers could have potentially lost. And we're speculating everything for Anaheim, too. But first and foremost, I am joined by my man, Mr. Chris Baird. How are you?
Dude, I'm great, but you better be careful, man. You might have some lawyers after you making statements
Oh,
like that.
man,
Man,
Vital MX
easy,
puts out
son.
a. Listen, it's not me. I'm just reading what
Easy.
Vital MX put out about the Lawrence brothers losing some money. So we're going to get into that. But first thing we
Yeah.
have to get into is that I want everybody in the chat right now in the comments section to put a bunch of clapping hands because Mr. Chris has another dirt bike. Christopher, you need to tell them what you did. You
Yes, sir.
savage man, you.
I stole a KTM 450 from Cernix in
Um,
Pennsylvania. Got it for $5,000 rebate, which was absolutely insane if you know what a brand new KTM costs. So there's a fresh KTM in the basement, getting ready for the year. So yeah, we're excited. It's been the first time I've had a new bike in 5, 6 years now. It's been a while.
I am absolutely jealous because I remember when you sent me the bike, you were like, dude, no way this thing is this cheap. Or I said that back to you when it was like 5 or 6 grand, whatever it was, because all the issues going on with the KTM. And
Yep.
then you pulled the trigger on it and grabbed it. And dude, I'm so pumped. And if I lived in New York, my man, there would have been two on the back of that truck because I would have got one with you, man. It's just I'm jealous, dude. It's a sick
I'm
bike.
just I'm just sick of the excuses. I just wish you'd
Yep,
buy a
yep.
damn
Oh, it's
bike
coming.
and just start riding. I know it's
It-
always like
it's
this and that.
coming.
Like, come on,
It's
come on.
it's coming. But you want to know
Nah,
what just was coming? Um, Everything with Eli Tomac in San Diego was flawlessly executed. Perfect race to watch. And obviously, Jet had a great ride then too, came back in, great fashion over week one. But Julian Beaumer pulled it out, much like you speculated on the show that he was going to rock it out. He absolutely did. But dude, let's start with the post that Vital MX made. I'm going to read it verbatim, and then I want to get your reaction from you on that, and then we can kind of just go back and forth with it.
yep,
But Vital MX makes this post that says, over the last 2 weeks, this is a statement directly from the Lawrence brothers, by the way. Over the last 2 weeks, we became suspicious of potential fraudulent activity related to one of our business accounts. Following an initial investigation, we became aware of and in possession of evidence of the misuse and misappropriation of our personal funds by our agent, Lucas Mirtle, for his benefit. And as of 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we have fired him. Further, Wassermann fired him as well. And we will continue our investigation and turn over all findings to the relevant authorities shortly. And they replace their manager and blah, blah, blah.
yep.
So, I know that this is very common amongst athletes in some of the other sports, such as football, baseball, basketball, hockey. I think this is the first time I personally have heard of this in motocross, though. But, what are your thoughts on this? Because I was not expecting to see that at all, man, honestly.
That was very weird. And as soon as I saw it, I was just I don't know. You hear this stuff, and as soon as you think like sports agent, I feel like you automatically think like a grimy person, a bad person, just because they're bringing money in, and I feel like sports agents just in general have that bad rap. I don't know what it is, but
Sure.
right away I was like, I guess maybe it makes sense. I don't know. And then, Lucas put his own statement out a little bit later, which we can talk about in a second, but very weird. The Lawrence brothers have been with him for a very long time. Lucas is known for, finding a lot of talent. He's been in the sport for a while. He worked with J Mart in the past. He
Mhm.
kind of helped bring the Conan brothers over in Europe to light, help them get their rides. I mean, Joe
So he's a
Shimoda,
reputable agent then.
oh, 100%. Yeah, he's had big names. It was actually interesting too. Jared McNeil, professional freestyle motocross rider, excuse me. He made a
Mhm.
real like bad post. He was not happy. He was like, "This guy's a scumbag. I knew this. I saw this coming." David Volman's openly said that he doesn't, think he's a good person for whatever reason. So again, the sports rap thing, I don't have a personal opinion because I don't know him. I don't want to see him say
Right.
he's a bad guy until we get
Yeah,
more
this is
evidence.
merely
But
speculation, by the way. This is us just
yeah,
talking.
for sure. But it's just interesting that without more evidence from what Lucas is saying, they just went and fired him without putting anything else out there, letting him know what's going on. But we don't know both sides of the story. I mean, there's probably three or four sides of the story, but dude, this
For
is an
sure.
interesting case.
Well, there's always, three parts of the story. How's the saying goes?
Yours, mine, and the
Theirs and
truth.
the truth. Yeah, exactly. Right. His, theirs, and the
Yep.
truth, whatever it is. But I did not know that Lucas made a statement himself. What did his statement say, or did you just kind of summarize it right there?
Yeah, no, I won't read the whole thing, but essentially the first page um was it right here? Sorry, there's six screenshots here. I want to make sure I got the right ones that I read.
No, you're good. I didn't mean to put you on the spot
Uh,
either. I just didn't know that he made a statement. But I guess it's good. He has to save his name to a certain extent, anyways. But when
oh,
you've got
100%.
other writers coming out saying that they saw this coming or whatever the case is, man, it's
Kind of weird.
not too
Yeah,
good.
no, not good. And I'll put the screenshots up for you guys to look at. But I was reading the first page here, but he said, I woke up this morning just like everyone else, completely blindsided by what I've read. Haven't spoke to anybody, not my agency, nor the family. I had no idea, not even a mention of like, hey, what's up with this? No one has spoke to me. I wasn't even asked my side of the story. I received termination letters and a legal letter. To even think it would be possible to steal money from multiple people's login account with partners, accountants, and my own agency is an absolute insult to my intelligence. And the person I've been publicly and privately to the people closest to me know this. To go public and discredit me before I even know about this is a complete smear job, an attempt to discredit me before I can defend myself. And all the posts are up here, but it does sound like he truly didn't know this was coming, had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
Kind of
that
weird, right?
man, that is interesting, but he does have to post something like that to defend his name anyways, because he has other clients, and you darn well know that those clients are going to be sending him, either cease and desist letters, termination letters, whatever the case is. And
Yeah.
the beautiful thing about money is that there is always a trail. This isn't
Yes.
blockchain. This isn't none of that nonsense. There is going to be, I mean, you've got wire fraud implications here. There's a lot of different moving parts. And when you have authorities investigating that, it's going to all come to light. And that's the beautiful thing of it, because if he is, you know, wrong, he's going to
Yep.
prison. It's obvious. But if let's say the Lawrence brothers are wrong, well, now Lucas's reputation is destroyed, and
100%.
his time in the sport or whatever is it's effectively over, because this is one of those things you cannot rebound from,
Yeah, but
even
don't
if
you
they
also,
are wrong.
no, for sure. Don't you think that, but like in my opinion, like it looks wrong, in my opinion, for the Lawrence brothers to do this without there being more concrete proof, evidence, whatever it is, talking to him. Didn't they kind of screw themselves? Because like you said, if this does go wrong, then they are not in the right here. I mean, the repercussions from this could be bad, someone losing their job and getting,
Dude,
defamation, right? I mean,
right. They would face legal action from Lucas, yes. However, to your point, the only person who has something to lose here is Lucas.
yeah,
Another
for sure.
agent will absolutely run to the front door, lower their fees, and do everything else to get the Lawrence brothers contracts, which is
Yep.
fine. Lawrence brothers have nothing to lose. I do think that I would like to think that if they had concrete evidence and proof, which I hope they do, because I hope they're intelligent people, but you can't put anything by anyone, that they
Yeah.
have the evidence to back up this statement and immediately push it out and be correct. But it's now everything is on Lucas to prove his story, which we will ultimately see and find out. But again, the only person here who has something to lose is Lucas, and that sucks. But his only recourse would be to sue the Lawrence brothers back to recoup what his losses would be and go from there. I mean, it's no secret the Lawrence brothers make a lot of money, so in the
Yeah.
event Lucas is right, he's going to get paid.
No, it is. It's weird to me. Like he made another post today. So Lucas has made two posts about this. Just essentially saying that Wasserman canceled his contract, putting him out millions of dollars. They
Yep.
inherited 1.7 million in contracted revenue per year without my salary to pay against it. Like he's saying that they did this intentionally. He's been there for 11 years, and he believes there's a narrative against him. Who knows? I do
The
worry that because the Lawrence brothers are so private with a lot of the stuff they do in life, that we won't get more of this information for
right.
years,
Well,
possibly. But
lawsuits are public record, and you
oh, for
can follow
sure.
some of that to a certain degree, but also too, there's this beautiful thing during lawsuits in this internet world we live in called
Yeah.
discovery. And the second they go through discovery, everything is going to be brought to light. Every text message, email, phone call, bank record, you name it,
Yeah.
comes to the light. And that is where the rubber will hit the road with this. We'll see. I would actually love to talk to Lucas and get his side of the story with that. I mean, I would love to speak with the Lawrence brothers too and their counsel, but that
Yeah.
probably would never happen. But again, it's sad because Lucas is the one who's going to lose out the most here if he is right. However, if Lucas is in the wrong and the Lawrence brothers can prove it and a judge in the court of law says so, Lucas is effectively done in the sport, and that is what it is. But it just sucks all the way around
100%.
because it happens. Look what just happened with Baker Mayfield from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the quarterback. His own father stole tens of millions of dollars from him as a money manager. His own father. So you can't put it by
Crazy.
some random agent that you hire, let alone your own father, right? It is what it is, man. That's just the name of the game.
100%.
Money does crazy things to a lot of people.
100%. Yeah, no, I mean it's tough because like I said, there's multiple people probably entering these accounts. Like he posted, they have their Lawrence Brothers experience, they have their merch, they work with Alpine Stars,
Yeah.
do these celebrity brand deals and things they do. Who really knows? This could have been a simple mistake, but maybe they wanted him out. Maybe they want to save some money on agent fees. Who knows? At the end of the day, it's interesting. It's going to see how it plays out over the next few months, but it's just weird to see this in our sport, our small little sport.
Yeah.
It very much caught me off surprise.
Me too, man. Because when you sent me that, I was like, no. just like mind blown. But that
Drama. We got drama.
we've got drama. That Facebook group is wild
Hmm,
though for good
I know.
like news and stuff like that. But
We'll
dude,
get people in the comment section in here. We'll be like, "You guys are just creating drama. This never really happened. They're just best friends." And I'm, you know how these comment sections are gonna go. The people will be on this video right here saying,
then
"We don't know
if
what's going on. I'm ready
okay,
for it. I'm ready. I'm prepared."
let's say we have no idea what's going on. I welcome you to
Yeah,
prove me wrong because if this is a PR stunt, this is the dumbest way to go about doing it. But whatever,
I saw
because
that theory today. I just want to let you know. I absolutely saw that theory
okay,
today.
okay then. So if this is a PR stunt, then Lucas has to immediately send a communication to every single one of his clients saying this is a joke, this is a lie, we're doing this in
I
good fun,
know.
we're trying to grow
I don't
brand.
believe that.
Good luck, good
No,
luck. Because in a professional setting, no way.
but
But
it's
I
all
digress.
good.
Go by all means, try to hammer that in the comments. Guys, before we get into the race results from San Diego, if you could pick any race to go to, which race would it be and why? Christopher, go first.
Past or present, let us know. Probably A1, and if not Anaheim one, the Daytona. Just because Anaheim one has again all the biggest names, celebrities, people go to it. It's a packed
Yep.
show, new bikes. You get to see who's doing what. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know. I've never been there. It's always been a dream as a kid. So hopefully next year can go in 2026. Hopefully we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. What about you? I mean,
Dude,
that's
Daytona all the way, man. I would love to go
Daytona.
to Daytona. To be on a speedway like that and such a historic place for racing as well. To see the track built on the infield just has to be special. So I think that's really, really cool. And shout out to Daytona this weekend's the IMSA race for anyone who's a fan of IMSA Racing GT3 and hypercar that's going on as we speak. The
Speaking
24
gibberish to
hour,
me.
which will be sick. What was that?
You're speaking gibberish to me.
Yep. Um, but dude, so let's jump right into all things San Diego. But I want to start with the 250s because you called it with Julian Bomero, where I was kind of taking the opposite approach of that. But by all means, man, what were your thoughts on 250s for San Diego? We had Julian Bomero, Jordan Smith, and Hayden Deegan in third. I was expecting better out of that, but by all means, man, fire away.
Yeah, I just think that this season right now is going to show that. For one, Hayden's still making some little mistakes. We saw in the heat race, he had a really big crash in the whoops that could have ended the night. I mean, he almost got ran over by his teammate.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I don't know. I just think that Julian possibly is same speed. I mean, maybe Hayden's not the fastest guy right now. Maybe they're level playing field.
Yeah.
Then again, Hayden kind of alluded to in the press conference. I don't know if this is because he doesn't like losing. He doesn't look like he's not the fastest guy, but say he's been dealing with arm pump, which sure, possible, 100%. I'm not going to comment out, but
Yep.
it's hard because he puts on that front that I'm the best. Everyone hates me. Everyone's against me all the time. So when you see him come out and lose, I'm sure it doesn't feel good for him. Doesn't look good for him. And it's probably
Right.
rough on his, ego and confidence. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, in my opinion, he can still come back and win this, and he probably will. I
Mhm.
don't know. What did you see out of Hagen? I definitely thought he was going to come through and win. He only had what 4 or 5 seconds at one point from the lead. I think he was pretty close. And then
Dude,
just
was ripping, no doubt.
yeah,
I mean, we the results are the results. I mean, the dude's got he's gonna have to be consistent and these wrecks and these mistakes because eventually like he has these wild get offs, right? And he can somehow salvage them and finish strong, top fives, top threes, even as we just saw. But there's gonna come a point where one of these crazy wild get offs is a bad injury. Because I
yep,
think he's dodged a bullet a lot, and his youth most certainly helps with that. But as he gets older and the body slows down, it's going to hurt a lot more, right? But I actually think in his press conference after, he sounded very upset
yep,
and very composed, though. I liked the maturity that I saw with that from him, to be honest with you.
good.
But overall, I mean, to finish third, good on him, man. But I think I don't want to take away from what Ballmer did and just talk about Deegan the whole time. I don't think that's fair because I
No,
think Juju smashed it and rode damn near flawlessly, in my opinion.
100%. No, he rode great. I mean, we were watching practice. I believe he was fastest P1 in qualifying one, and then he got second in qualifying two because Deegan just topped him. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that Hayden got the overall fast time. But they were within, tenths of seconds of each other. It was really, really good
Yes.
to see Julian come out swinging like he has been over the past 2 weeks. I know you
Yep.
always hear the stories about him going fast in practice, but I didn't expect him to be leading the points this weekend, going into Anaheim too, which is really, really cool to see. He's so
Right.
young and put more pressure on Hayden, right? I mean, Hayden wants to win this thing. He's the only guy right now who's really doing that to Hayden, which is cool. So Julian's very composed, very, very humble. I like to
Yep.
see that working with Davey Millsaps. No, just really, really cool stuff. And I think that, dude, it's been a treat already. These two races, these first two races have
100%.
both been
Yes.
incredible,
Yep.
incredible.
And I think it's gonna be another one of those years where we have multiple winners across both classes, not just one guy running away from it like we talked about in our first show. But
Hmm.
dude, what are your thoughts on, Cole Davies had a great ride as well, but Joe
Yeah.
Shimoda finishes seventh, coming off of a win. Was the win a fluke? Do we see Joe coming back and finishing in those top fives and podiums again? Because dude, you can't. I feel like if you're coming out strong, getting a win, you can't fall below that top five threshold because it's a fast ride down. What do you think?
Well, I thought he was going to do a lot worse for sure. I mean, I was
Oh,
definitely
wow.
impressed that he came back and, well, I mean, obviously, I don't know if you saw the pictures of his fingers. Unreal, absolutely unreal.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
pit
yeah,
board
well, I don't
smashes.
want to discount that either. Right,
No, no, no,
exactly.
no, for sure. No, but I know I get what you're saying. Like he needs to be out here, winning. If he wants to win this title, he's got to be, contending. To only lose that many points, in my opinion, is great. I'm happy that he was only able to do that. Inside
Yep.
the top 10 is impressive. But yeah, his fingers were messed up. Like that
Cooked.
pit board wrecked his fingers. So
Yep.
no, man, I do feel like if it's his bad luck or whatever it is, he had the mojo rolling, and unfortunately, it's possibly going to come to a stall here. I don't know how quick he can recover, how he's going to be able to hold on to the bike. Again, I can't imagine
That's the
having like two of
thing, man.
these
You got to
fingers
wrangle.
just
You got to wrangle that bike in, dude. To be missing a few of
yeah
those fingers, that's got to be tough.
brutal. So it was an impressive ride, but yeah, man, like he just needs to. I don't know. He just needs to be there. He needs to be there no matter what. But the problem right now, which might not be a problem, it's a good thing for him, but we're losing guys left and right. So this week we lost Garrett Marchbanks. He got hurt, not racing
Yep.
this weekend. We lost Ryder DiFrancesco, who got hurt in practice. He's not racing this weekend.
Yep.
This field has thinned out so quick right now, man. So if someone, we just talking about Cole Davies, who was absolutely so impressive, someone like him can just start top five, top threes. God forbid Joe, excuse me, if Joe's having a bad race, but if Hayden or Juju have bad races, he could be in there for that title hunt in the next couple rounds. So
Yep.
this field is really really thinned out. I feel so bad for Mitch Payton, man. Like, is
Yeah,
he
it
even
did
gonna have
get
a bike on the
backwards.
track this weekend? We don't know. We don't know if Drew Adams is racing.
Yep.
Like this class is it's kind
Unacceptable
of
too
thinning
from a
out.
team standpoint.
No, for sure, man. So I don't really know what to think. Cody Shock six was super impressive, beating all these factory guys. He beat Michael Moseman, beat Marchbanks in the main event.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. What do you think about these rookies? Like, who do you think steps up now that again Garrett, Cody, Ty Masterpool crashed out as well. He's not racing for the next couple weeks. Who steps up next? If you're looking at the results right now, who do you
Well,
see
dude,
stepping up in this
th-
list?
that's why I really because I'm looking at the results here as you're speaking, man, and I really think like I'm pumped to see what Cole Davies can do definitely can do going forward. Beyond that, dude, it's kind of a toss.
Question marks.
There's no one as I'm scrolling down the list here. I don't see anybody else who could be a top guy up there. I mean,
Mm,
tell me if I'm wrong. Other than Cole Davies, who else is going to be a wild card that can get it done? Because I don't see
I
Mosman
don't.
doing it, not Hunter Yoder. Maybe Bourdon if he gets a good start. Maybe.
Maybe a fifth of the last round if the field's empty. Maybe Jet Reynolds, amateur prodigy, should have been the next like AC. Ryder DD didn't. He's just been injured so many times.
Right.
It's tough, man. I don't know, but at the end of the day, like I look at this field right now. Jordan Smith, Julian Beaumer, Hayden Deegan, if they
Yep.
all have a chance equally to win this title because Jordan's going to be consistent. I don't see Jordan being off the podium for the rest of the year unless he crashes. I mean, again, who's going to beat him at this point unless Joe gets healthy and comes back? I mean, it's very interesting right now. Really, really interesting. And 250 East is so stacked. I wish I had the list in front of me, dude. Oh
Yep.
my
No,
God.
250
Unreal.
East is going to be wild, man. That's going to be
Unreal.
the most fun racing of the year is probably going to be the 250 East over the 450s too. As we go to the East Coast, I think 250 East is going to be more fun to watch.
We could have new
Uh,
winners every week. For real. It's crazy.
yeah, like literally. And then I know Avery Long and Hawkins both had some crazy get offs in the LCQs, right?
Yeah, I think Avery's was LCQ or yeah, that was bad. Yeah, because they red
Yeah.
flagged the LCQ.
Yeah, and to see him get
Dude,
backboarded off, man, he's all good. But I
yeah.
know Hawkins broke his femur. That was the last update that I saw. That's
I know you gotta.
just real
Yeah,
bad.
I know we don't have a ton of time. I know you gotta get rolling here in a few minutes, but what were your thoughts on the 3-4? Did you like it, dislike it? Should we do more jump sections like that are difficult for guys in 250s? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Dude, I do think you need more of it because I think the racing and the tracks are built for the 450s because that's obviously the main event. That's what everyone's watching for. It's better for television. Everything is built for television. I want everyone to understand that they build these tracks for TV to keep your attention and to keep it fun. And that's you even have riders complaining that the tracks are nuts. So
Yeah.
that's why, I mean, unfortunately, I think you need to see more of it just so it's fun to watch. And I mean, yeah, the 250 bikes are impressive, but is now is this where you get in the conversation of it where it separates the men from the boys, right? I mean, I don't know. Um,
It's tricky.
yeah. What do you think though, track wise? Because I know we have this conversation a lot, but is it a bike issue or is it a track issue? Which way are we going?
I think the bikes are definitely overpowering for sure, but and they're probably limited on what they can do with the tracks and the dirt. But I mean, all in all, I was happy with the 3-4. I thought it was cool because there was some separation. Jet had that crazy line where he,
That's still insane to
quad
even
to
think.
the inside. It was
Yep.
unreal that he was able to do that. But the S turns before that, like the Tomac was around the outsides, he was around the insides, cutting down, cutting down.
Okay, so let's get into the 450s because
Yeah.
Tomac's corner speed in that section was unbelievable.
Stupid.
It
Makes no sense.
like he was on rails, just came in and looped right through like it was
Hmm.
nothing. And the amount of time he gained was insane because that was one thing I was watching the most was what the
Yep.
time separation was with him out in front of the lead because I wanted to see if he had the pace to extend the lead. So 450s finished, Tomac, Lawrence, Webb, Roxon, and then Hunter, right?
Yep.
But Tomac got out front and checked out. Like
Gone.
that is the Tomac that we wanted to see that we were talking about from the last show. I'm pulling for Tomac again in A2 because I think he's going to start to pick up that momentum now. But Jet proved he's right there with him and loved the fight, man. But what were your thoughts on the 450s, though?
It was just badass racing. That was such a good main event. I'm not gonna jump the gun yet and say that Tomac's better than Jet this year or anything like that, but it was probably a good thing for Tomac to get that win to straight up beat Jet because we've never really seen
Yeah.
that from him. Jet's
Yep.
always able to inch up, inch up, inch up, and I thought it was gonna happen, but I don't know. It was just he looked so comfortable, and you could just tell he comes into this year with so much confidence. I don't know if that's from racing so much in the off season. He's firing on all cylinders. Dude, the qualifying stuff, it seemed, as fast as he is in qualifying, Chase was the fastest overall, but
Yep.
just each session, he's right up top, right up top, right up top. We're there with Chet. I know at one point, I'm pretty sure those three guys were like literally like 1/100th of each other. Like
Yes.
it was
Exactly.
stupid watching that,
Dude,
So
but that's what made the racing so much fun in the podium interview after Jet was like, I finally got my battle with him and he won. But like that if there were more laps, Jet would
yeah,
have been right up on him and probably passed him. But obviously they ran out of time, and that's racing. But I just think
100%.
the battles that we're going to see amongst them going forward is going to be sick.
Yeah,
And I'm just hoping that Tomac can stay out front and obviously stay healthy too, because we know Jet's going to be a dog. And
yep.
we know that Jet's going to be in the conversation for the rest of the year. We just hope that there's other riders to give him the mix and just kind of give him the elbows a bit and keep him at bay to give us more winners, obviously. But
No, 100%. Yeah, it's just good racing again. And Chase went down. Chase went down the first lap, right? Is that why Chase was so far back? Yeah, he
I
went up to like
think
sixth or fifth.
I think so.
Yeah, Chase was down right away because he wasn't up there. Because I think he would have been, obviously. I mean, he's been riding so well.
Right.
Fastest in qualifying. It's just going to be a good season. Again, I mean, we're seeing Kenny Cooper Webb sounds like he had a really bad injury in December. He's been talking about now. He's off
But
the
he
bike
rode
for
good
four
though.
weeks. He was also sick this weekend. He put on Instagram. He had things
Yeah.
come out of both ends of his body. Trying not to throw up and stuff. Like not feeling good. But he's been
Right.
fourth and then third. So Coop's right there in the hunt too. Tomac's got the points lead. Jet's still down what 10 points right now or something. Like he's
Yep.
not. He can make that up, no problem. One race,
It's
excuse
there's
me,
so
but
much time left.
100%. So I don't know. It's not really much to say that you guys didn't see on TV already, but yeah,
Yep.
just
I mean,
excited for these next few races. I haven't seen the track map yet this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be pretty solid at Anaheim. And just last week's track was cool. I thought it was really good, despite it being kind of one line. The guys were able to pass in the whoops and that's turns. It was just
right.
cool, man. It's been a great season. Everything about this year has been awesome.
Well,
Minus the
dude,
injuries.
and that's what I wanted to ask you about Jorge Prado too, because I know he had a stellar ride in A1. San
Yeah.
Diego finished 12th. So, was it a bad weekend for Prado, or do you think he's kind of starting to settle back into where he needs to be? What do you think is going to come of him for A2?
I don't know. It's hard to see him not make the main event or not make the main through the heat. Obviously, it
Yep.
didn't go well for him with that crash he had. I do think he's got a lot to learn. I think we all want him to be up front and do better than he's doing. Sure, it's
Right.
great that he's qualifying, and I give him a lot of props. Like we said before, he wasn't born here, didn't grow up racing Supercross. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's amazing by any means, but he's doing very well for where he's at, and
Damn
I could
good
see him,
talent. Yep.
fifth, fifth place, maybe some podiums next year. I just hope he gets through all 17 because I think that's going to be the best thing for him. He's young, he's got time to learn, and yeah, just needs to be consistent and smooth and crack that top 10. There's a lot of fast guys in the top 10 right now. That's the problem. Everyone's healthy
100%.
still.
Well, and then that's like I know I was on the Roxon train hard from A1, and he finished fourth in San Diego, still
Yep.
up top fives, which is good. But again, like I mentioned, for the 250s, man, you for Joe, you can't slide down. You got to stay up there to stay in those points because it's an elevator ride
Yeah.
down. It's quick when the points start slipping away, and that's what I hope doesn't happen to Roxon or a Tomac if anything happens. You want them to stay up there as as close as they can as we go through all these remaining rounds. But I mean, dude, it's going to be a wild
100%.
season, bro.
I know wild season. I do want to give a shout out and hope get well soon to Aaron Plessinger, who did not finish the main event. Looks like he got
Hey,
hurt. Got a
yep,
little shook up. You hate to see that, but Joey Savatgy 10th was awesome. I'm pumped for Joey. I want to see him get up front more.
yep.
Brandis ninth after not qualifying last week is awesome. I mean, Malcolm Hunter Lawrence was quietly in fifth place. You don't really see or hear much from him, but he's just right there chugging away. I don't know, man. This top 10 is crazy right now. Again, it's look at who's outside the top 10. Again, Justin Cooper, Jorge Prado, Jason Anderson, Justin Hill, Vince, Benny, Shane. Like, there's some big name guys just outside that
Right.
top 10.
That's what makes the 450s up for grabs for anybody, is because out
Yes.
just outside of that top 10 or the top five is a bunch of just factory level talent, right? So I think that's what makes it so fun to watch, man.
Yeah. And I mean, Jason was literally on the podium, like from that
Yep.
to, 13th is just crazy in 2 weeks in a row. I do believe he was sick or something, is from what it sounds like, but man, long season. It's a long 17 rounds for these guys.
And it's already time for A2. So I want to know who you got, both 250s and 450s. Give it to me.
Oh man, I don't know. Juju might take this thing again. I'm gonna go Juju in 250s, and I think Chase takes a win this weekend. Chase is definitely on the pace to do something. Dude, he is riding so good. He is so fast, so
You're not
fast.
wrong. You're not wrong. I'm gonna say Juju for 250s as well. I'm with you on that because I think he's gonna start to find his groove. It just feels right to think about. So
Yeah,
I
100%.
think Juju's on the 250s. I'm reluctant to say it's either going to be Tomac or Jet in A2.
Okay,
I think Tomac's going to
fair.
carry a lot of momentum from San Diego. Jet's going to do the same exact thing. That's why I personally believe it's a toss up. I know it's not a fun answer, it's not a wild answer, but I think that's probably the most logical way to look at it. I think as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, man, 100%. I mean, we don't know what could happen. I heard there were. I don't know if it's was it this weekend that there's possible rain in the forecast, which would not
Let
really
it
be
rain, let it
surprising
rain.
with the fires and stuff. I doubt it. I know someone on Twitter said stuff, but a lot
That
of
would be
people post
nice.
things on Twitter that aren't true. So who really knows these days? I don't know, man.
Right.
I just thought it was funny. I want to dip on the last topic really quick because, again,
Yeah.
listen to Pope, Steve Mathis, Jason Wygant, all these guys. It's so weird to me that they were complaining again that there's like so many YouTube moto shows. Like, why do you think our sport is so unaccepting of people on YouTube that aren't inside the
Fear.
sport having
Fear.
shows? Do you think that's fear?
Fear.
Do you?
100%. If you're so big and bad, why are you worried about
No, it's funny. They bring it up all the time, and like I love those guys. I
it?
truly do. I don't see them any differently because of it, but
No, I don't. I
so
don't.
so
I
many
understand.
concerns and worries because there's so
I
many
under,
YouTube shows now.
right. I understand I understand capitalism and I understand competition and I
Yep.
understand media. I went to school for marketing. I'm not that that matters, but I'm just saying you kind of learn how the game works as life goes on. And
Yep.
we saw this with the most recent presidential election. Mainstream media got it wrong. All the podcasters got it right. So does that
Yep.
happen with sport media? Does Barstool Sports eclipse certain shows on ESPN? The Pat McAfee show probably does better than some shows on ESPN.
Yeah.
So
100%.
does the Pulp MX show do better than, any of the stuff you see from Feld Media?
Yep.
You're preaching to the choir here, but what I'm saying is if you're worried about it, then you got a reason to be
Yeah.
worried about it. You keep bringing it up.
In their
So,
heads.
so if these little YouTube shows were just little YouTube shows, you wouldn't have to tell your audience that we were so bad. They would just know because you're
Yeah.
so right. And I'm going to
I'm
get
not
on my
talking about us.
I'm going to get on my soapbox here, but
Yeah.
I love this kind of conversation because I would love to have, I don't care who it is, Jason Wigan, James Stewart, any of the guys who do all the media,
Yep.
tell us, tell us how, I obviously like they are better because they are syndicated on TV calling the race, but how is their
Yep.
perspective any better than ours? Because if it's a perspective, it's an opinion, and people
Yep.
want to hear opinions. They no longer want to be told who's good and who's bad. We hear
100%.
nonstop about how all the factory teams get all the attention. Well, dude, you don't think any of the privateer guys who have crazy levels of talent don't deserve a potential tryout with a factory team? Like, are you mad
100%.
now
I
because
disagree.
these little YouTube shows are going to give bigger voices to privateer riders? Is that what you're mad about? like where are we falling here? So
Yeah,
I'm
bottom line.
passionate about this because it's clearly striking a nerve, and I think that's great because that means it's working. It's
Uh-huh.
working.
100%. No, it's just it's funny to see that again. Like I just those guys are, in my opinion, in such a different league because they know everyone. They can talk to anybody. They can call Tomac for an interview tomorrow, kind of thing. Um,
Right.
we'll get there. Obviously, we'll get there. We're working towards it. I
Oh,
just,
without a
yeah,
doubt.
it's cool. It's cool to hear him talk about like, hey, it's just. And again, they weren't talking about Moto Outsider. They were just talking in general. There's a
Wish,
tons of
wish
other
they
shows.
were. Put our
Yeah,
name
there's
on
tons of
TV,
other
baby.
shows.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, I'm saying there's so many other shows out there that are
Of
bigger than
course.
ours right now that are doing great. And I'm not here to be the biggest show, but obviously we have fun doing this, and I'd love to do this for a long time. So
Yep.
whatever, have a good time, enjoying it, and yeah, maybe we'll take over one day. Moto
Oh,
Outsider to
maybe.
the
No,
moon,
no,
baby.
we will. Moto Outsider to the moon. Make it a coin. We're gonna start crypto. Moto Outsider
Oh,
crypto
good
coin.
God, don't get me into that.
Chris,
Yes, sir.
always a pleasure, brother.
Yes, sir. Good chatting with you, and we will get a recap out probably Sunday this week or Monday. So apologize about last week. It was a busy week, and yeah, my bad. This side.
Moto Outsider is out.
See you guys.